Yukteswar left his body in 1936. It really wasn't all that long ago. There are still a number of tangible reminders of his life. A few photographs, even a little film footage. Here, the fan that he would use, the Rudraksha that he put his blessings into and then gave to Yoganandaji when Yogananda was writing his university exams. And when we go on pilgrimage to Calcutta, one of the highlights is to go to Serampore, where Sri Yukteswar lived, to be able to walk down Raigat Lane, where he would walk every morning, to be able to sit under the same banyan tree where Babaji appeared to him at Raigat, to be able to see a corner of the original hermitage, but above all to be able to meditate in the shrine that's built on the site of the hermitage. And for me, that's a profoundly deep experience. Yoganandaji called his guru a Gyan avatar, and certainly his outward appearance was one of wisdom, also a stern disciplinarian. But meditating where he lived his life, I discovered also something different. Also a sense of bliss. You know, a hint of that experience in cosmic consciousness that Yoganandaji described that he had on that spot. And that too is the true Sri Yukteswar. In the autobiography, who is the person that Yoganandaji talks about the most? His guru, Sri Yukteswar. And through that, we have a very intimate understanding of the man. And many chapters have stories about him or that he told, and each of those stories has a spiritual lesson. A spiritual lesson for us that can take a lifetime or more for us to learn. One of those is surrender. A lesson that Yoganandaji learned when on his first meeting with Sri Yukteswar, when his guru told him to go back to Calcutta to his family. You remember, and Yoganandaji said, "I will follow you anywhere. I will do anything you ask of me, my guru, but not that." He had earlier vowed to leave his family, to be independent, and he risked embarrassment, going back to them, being under their control again. And have we also had that sense of conditional acceptance, that we place our conditions on what we will do for God? You know, have we ever prayed, well, you know, God, let my child have the best school, but let it be this school and not that school. Let my son have a happy marriage, but with this girl, not with that girl. Have we ever said, you know, I want this from life. I want this guidance. I want this direction. Krishna tells a story in the Gita, or tells us in the Gita, that we have only two choices: to follow God's will or follow our own will. There's no in-between. There's no, we can't take a little of this and a little of that. And Yoganandaji finally says to Sri Yukteswar that your will is my law. I will do as you say. He returns to his family and he's very surprised. His family's attitude has changed. Instead of being ridiculed by his father is happy. that he found a guru close to home, and he felt that his family was being guided, protected by the hands of Lahiri Mahashaya. And by changing his mind, Yoganandaji also had the courage to face his fear, the fear of rejection and ridicule. And as Sri Yukteswar says, if we look at fear in the face, it no longer has any control over us. And tells the story of how when he was a child, he was told there was a ghost in a closet, and he immediately went to that closet, opened the door, just to see that there was no ghost there. And that's his lesson for us. And another is discrimination. The world is made up of all sorts of qualities, all sorts of opportunities, good, bad, indifferent, and it's up to us to make the most of each of them. There's Sri Yukteswar was disturbed. He tells the story when he went to the Kumbh Mela and found so few of the sadhus had realization. And then he met Babaji, and Babaji told him, be like the wise ant. The world is made up of sand and sugar. The wise ant chooses the sugar and he leaves the sand. Choose in every situation, choose the positive. Our minds, Swamiji would tell us, are like sponges. If we concentrate on evil, we can become evil. The more we concentrate on good, the more we become good. And so, surrender to God's will, courage to face fear, discrimination to make the right decision, and to know that we are well-loved children of God, always. Wherever we go and whatever we do, this also Sri Yukteswar reminded us. And he said that the heart's natural love is fundamental to our growth. And we need to consciously cultivate our devotion. He said in the Holy Science, the heart's natural love is the principal requisite to attain a holy life. When this love, the heavenly gift of nature, appears in the heart, it removes all causes of excitement from the system and cools it to a perfectly normal state. When this love becomes developed in man, it makes him able to understand the real position of his own self, as well as that of others. Without this love, man cannot live in the natural way. Neither can he keep company with the fit person for his own welfare. He suffers in body and mind. He can never find any peace, and his life becomes a burden. Hence, the culture of this love, the heavenly gift, is the principal requisite for the attainment of liberation. It is impossible for man to advance a step toward the same without this love. And finally, an attitude of acceptance, just receiving the blessings that are ours to receive. Swamiji tells the story of he says, once I felt I was having a very difficult time. I said to Master, please bless me. He looked at me and through me with his great luminous eyes, and then replied with such profound gentleness, I am blessing you all the time. So much I cannot even say. So much. It is better to not even ask. just receive. And so we are all being blessed so much. We cannot even conceive of how much. Let our prayer be simply to receive the great blessings which are ours now.
It's so beautiful to see the devotion and the love that Yoganandaji has for Swami Sri Yukteswar. Most often we talk about Yoganandaji in Satsang or in our classes, but Yoganandaji in every prayer that he prayed, in every public lecture, all the time with his disciples, with his students, he would honor Swami Sri Yukteswar. And every time he walked by the picture of Sri Yukteswar outside his room, he would stop and he would pranam. And he wrote these beautiful, beautiful chants for his guru. He wrote that poem that Vasudha just read, my guru. So beautiful. He had undying devotion, and he never took credit. Yoganandaji never took credit for any of his own realization, for any of his own accomplishments. He said, I owe it all to my guru and to God. And so that humility that Yogananda had at the feet of Sri Yukteswar is such an incredible example for us to have with God, with Guru. And of course Sri Yukteswar was a spiritual powerhouse. I mean, we know from the autobiography that he met Babaji 3 different times, and he healed Yoganandaji of Asiatic cholera, and he, maybe it wasn't, that was the hearing Mahashaya, but he healed Yogananda of a very, very severe illness. And he also, of course, resurrected for Yogananda in the hotel room in Bombay. This is a spiritual powerhouse. And Sri Yukteswar knew that Yogananda was his spiritual heir, and Yogananda transmitted, Yukteswar transmitted his realization, his power, his vibration to his disciple Yoganandaji, and through him he received Lahiri's vibration, Babaji's vibration, and Babaji's told Sri Yukteswar, I'm sending you a disciple, I want you to train him and send him to the West. And we know that Yoganandaji has, affected the lives of millions and millions of people with Kriya Yoga, with meditation, with just the spiritual path through his book and through his teachings. So Yoganandaji had a major, Sri Yukteswar had a major role to play on this earthly plane, even though he didn't have so many disciples. And if you were just to look at his ashram in Puri, where his body is, or Serampore, you realize it must have been quite small. And very few people must have come. And Yoganandaji himself tells us how very few stayed because of Sri Yukteswar's strict disciplinary action. But Yoganandaji told a story to Swamiji about being trained by Sri Yukteswar. And Yoganandaji said, Sri Yukteswar made us stay on this one shloka of Patanjali for so long. And I was so impatient, I wanted to move on through the books, go further in the books. And yet, Sri Yukteswar said, no, you have not fully understood yet. And then after, it was 8 months or so, he closed the book, after training in Patanjali, he closed the book and he said, now you know everything, you understand everything from the inside, and you will from now on understand every scripture you ever read and be able to put yourself in the middle of any situation and understand it instantly. And I'm going to read this quote by Yogananda, Sri Yukteswar. He says, wisdom is not assimilated with the eyes, but with the atoms. When your conviction of a truth is not merely in your brain, but in your being, you may diffidently vouch for its meaning. The rishis wrote in one sentence profundities that commentating scholars busy themselves over for generations. Endless literary controversy is for sluggard minds. What's more quickly liberating than God is, or just God? man does not easily return to simplicity. And so you think of Sri Yukteswar giving his magnetism to Yoganandaji. I would like some of that actually, but maybe I'm not so close to receiving all this wisdom and vibration that Sri Yukteswar gave to Yogananda. But then again, Sri Yukteswar says, forget the past. The vanished lives of all men are dark with many shames. Human conduct is ever unreliable until man is anchored in the divine. Everything in the future will improve if you are making the right spiritual effort now. So what is that right spiritual effort? One, to know that you are exactly in the place that God has put you, and that divine law is infallible. And if you're having problems or issues or big lessons in your life that you would rather not have, you have to know that you are being guided by God, you are being guided by your gurus, and everything that's being given to you is a gift from God for your growth. And the gurus are there to help you, but we think we're so unworthy. Why would they help me? I'm not perfect, I'm not doing this. And we seem to think it's so spiritual that if I criticize myself and I judge myself, and maybe if I'm judging myself, I'm also judging my friends, if I'm judgmental enough, I'll be more spiritual. But that's not what God and Guru want of us. They want us to turn and ask them for help. They want us, Swamiji says in the Festival of Light that the avatars, the great ones, these gurus, Sri Yukteswar, Yoganandaji, gave up a life in infinite joy and bliss to take on limitation, pain, and death, just to come down and help us and show us. So if they've gone to that much effort, do you think they don't want to show us and help us? So that's why they were born. That's why they're here. And it's also our role as disciples to call on them. In fact, we didn't choose them, they chose us. So they were born, they chose us, they're waiting for us to ask for help and ask for guidance. So how do we ask for guidance and help? We basically do everything they told us to do. I mean, Sri Yukteswar, Lahiri, Babaji, Yoganandaji, Kriya Yoga, meditate, get to your center, get to that place of stillness where you can feel me, where you can receive my power and my vibration. That will change you, that will guide you. For sure, meditation, that's the bare minimum. And then, read my words, listen to my voice, look into my eyes, all the ways that we know to attune ourselves to the gurus. Serve. Sri Yukteswar said, it's the day of quotes of Sri Yukteswar, so long as you breathe the free air of the earth, you are under obligation to render grateful service. Serve. Serve your family, serve your colleagues at work, serve here at the ashram. There's lots of ways you can serve, but they ask you to serve, they ask you and want you to be in their vibration. So again, how to be in that vibration? Back to simplicity, Sri Yukteswar said. It is not complicated. It's like somebody asked Swamiji, it's hard to know God's will. Swami said, no, it is not hard to know God's will. We need to bring ourselves inside to that place of simplicity, that place of peace, of calmness, of love and joy. The 8 aspects of God that Yogananda taught us about. These are the qualities of the divine. They're infinite, they're eternal, they're always with you, they're immediate. You tune into calmness, and you get into that vibration of calmness, and you will be able to feel the vibration of the Guru. If calmness in this particular situation is not possible, then tune into energy. Can I have energy in this situation? Can I maybe have joy in this situation, even if calmness and peace is not possible? And, so what are the aspects of God? Power, light, just turn towards the light. That's what they ask us. Go in, gaze up, turn towards the light, and get back to that simple vibration where you can receive their power. And they will transform us with their spiritual magnetism. That is their job. We have to make them a pole star of our life. I have made the pole star of my life. No matter where you are, what situation you're in, turn back to God, turn back to the world, turn back to the light, to that inner peace, to that inner calmness. How can I find peace in this moment? How can I find joy in this moment? How can I find love in this moment? They will be there waiting for you, just sending in their guidance, their light, their wisdom. And we shall be transformed, just like Yoganandaji was transformed.